Today, we talk about why you are a secret furry and have no clue. Let's get started. Now, I want you to think back really far, back to all the memories you had as a child, all of your favorite cartoon kid shows, things like that. A few of mine being Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Sonic the Hedgehog, Street Sharks, things like that, yada yada yada. What do all of these shows have in common other than being extremely popular and great franchises to, I don't know, throw out there and probably make a really shit movie and make some money on, is that they all have anthropomorphic characters as the main characters. Kind of strange to think about that everything that was ever taught to you, your ABCs, your 1, 2, 3s, and everything else under the sun, was basically furry culture in essence, fed to you, spoon, straw, however you really want to put it. And I'm not really here to, bash on furries or people who don't like furries, because believe me, I could get into the jokes on pretty much both spectrums, I kind of didn't know what it was right up, I want to say I thought it was in my, teens, who started going to the Renaissance Festival, and, of course, someone selling ears. I show an interest. Every single one of my friends, "You're a closet furry." No, I'm not. What are you talking about? And I assume that, that weird attraction has come up to other people, and pretty much the exact same circumstances have happened to you. Now, I'm pretty sure that there are different levels to this. Everyone seems to think, oh, it's a sexual thing, right? It's a sexual thing. But when you really think about the whole culture, in essence, there are different levels, just like there is to everyone else. There's the casual person, and then there's a person that's extremely into it, that has, the Funko Pops, this, that, whatever memorabilia you can possibly get your hands on, they can throw to make a little bit of cash. Now, I went to, just Denver Fest this year, 2022. Just kind of wanted to see what that was about. I was really nervous, honestly. I was like, how much cringe could cringe possibly be? Show up, and surprisingly, everyone was extremely inviting. If you could think of it, they probably sold it. I even saw a guy there dressed as Lady Dramescu. And when I say going around in an outfit, I don't mean he was in a costume. I mean, literally, he was on stilts. He was the correct height, the correct breast size, and he had the correct claw length. And I've been killed by her so many times in Village. I gotta say that when he came up behind me, and my girl was with me, and she pointed behind me, I looked and was frozen in fear with real PTSD. Real. I've played that game so many times, Village, that being, and I was extremely terrified. But I was looking at the Kigurumis, all the Pokemon stuff, really huge. Oh, by the way, I'm also a huge Hamtaro fan, and it might be, really weird to think about. The one thing that I gotta say that I think that was hilarious about the whole thing is this. There are all these people in fursuits. They're not yiffing, not in public, at least I know. Again, there's the adult stuff, the unadult stuff. It was all very kind of all over the place. There was a dog there. Actually, there were a few dogs there, which, by the way, if you ever go to a furry convention, please don't bring your dogs. It's a strange thought. There's the dog looking up at the other dogs thinking, why is this dog petting me? Why? It's just this whole midlife crisis, just existential dread of giving your dog that to think about for the rest of its life. And then after that, it never being a thing again. So was it all a dream? Was it all just made up? No, it was real. Just like the adult section, which there were two of. And I knew there were going to be, adult books about, bestiality porn or however you want to word it or whatnot. The thing that kind of surprised me was this. When I went into those doors and I expecting to find books and art and things like that, there wasn't, well, I guess technically you could consider it art, but there weren't as many books as I thought there was going to be. In all honest, it was just two big gigantic rooms of dragon dicks. Yes, that's right, dragon dicks. Every plethora of the rainbow in dragon dicks, being, from one color to the next color to just, these were masterful, bulging, amazing pieces of art. Well, I'm going to hope they're art, because I don't know anyone that can get that show that far up there, to be all honest. It's kind of concerning. We've all been on the hub, but still, super concerning. In the adult room, there were these two guys talking, and one of them made the offer to the other guy, hey, I'll get you any one of these that you want at any price range if you can get it all the way up your ass. And he smiled. I don't know if he took him up on that offer and they went home together. But my assumption is he was toying with the thought. The amount of people that were in puppy play outfits, and if you don't know what puppy play is, basically it's people that like to make dog noises and have collars, and they basically act like a dog. And that really freaked out the other animals. There were so many puppy play guys. There was one guy out in the front of the hotel, the convention, and I'm assuming he was a little confused, because when I asked him, is that painted on, or is that? He goes, no, this is my skin. This is my skin. I think he had a tiger spray painted paint all over his body with a dog head, which was a little weird to think about. Anthropomorphic animals, I guess you can switch out the bits and pieces for what you do like. It's all make-believe, whatever you want to do. And, he seemed really proud about it. And I go, well, if you're going to do it, this is probably the place to do it. Me being extremely out of place, I'm assuming he thought the Cheech and Chong convention, the Metalhead convention was like, that's next week. Except I don't know if you forgot this or if you missed this, but I don't think you're at the right place. The other day, I was listening to a podcast called Aging Otakus. If you're on Spotify, you grew up in the 90s, you like anime, you'll probably like it. They were talking about Dragon Ball Z, and they went all the way back and brought up some things. Yamcha, not being dead Yamcha, because he's always dead for some damn reason. It's basically his trope. And, losing the chick. Being back in the day, he would ask Par to transform into random things to get his way, trick people. He was a bandit. It was a different time, different age. He got Par to, transform into Bulma one time. He's in love with Bulma, and Par's in love with Yamcha. And if this is something they brought up on the podcast. If this isn't a fan fiction, it's probably going to be after this. And anyone ever think back to, did Yamcha ever ask Par to transform into Bulma and fuck Par? It's a feasible thing. And it kind of blew my mind. And I was just thinking about that. And I was like, holy fuck. Yeah. Was it the rule 23 or 27? If you can possibly think of it, don't enter it in the internet with porn on the other side of it, because I guarantee you something has dementedly destroyed your childhood memory of whatever that was when you were a kid. So if you hold it dear, for the love of God, don't look it up. So today I'm basically telling you, if you had that little kink or that let's not talk about it kind of a thing, because I don't want to get made fun of. I remember being a huge fan of that group Tattoo back in the day. The one with the lesbians back in the early 2000s, and it's Russian chicks, and it's pop music. It's pop music in essence. I was a huge fucking fan of that. If you love something, don't ever let there be a guilty pleasure. Unless it's gonna get your ass kicked, then please, for the love of God, don't take my advice and go let your freak flag, wave way too fucking strong in someone's fucking face. I'm gonna, don't fucking try to discredit this fucking video with that. I don't want anyone leaving any fucking shit things in the fucking comments. But go out there, look it up. Again, it's from a childhood you're taught this shit. So if it's something you want to look into, by all means, you don't have to be weird. You don't have to wear the fursuits. You don't have to wear the puppy play shit. You don't have to. You can just have fun with it. That's like saying people who watch cartoons or anime and they're like in their 30s are fucking losers or fucking creeps. And it's an entire generation that's fucking grown up with this. I remember being a kid and watching Sailor Moon, which was one of like the first things that got brought over to America, and not wanting, for the love of God, to tell anyone about it because it's a bunch of basically magic girls if you don't know the genre, and I don't want to get made fun of. And then Powerpuff Girls came up, and I tried to hide that too, but then I found out everyone was watching Powerpuff Girls, and there was really no reason to be ashamed of it. And I can think of multiple things like that. Being an otaku now, or being into stuff now, when you're young, you think everyone's, talking shit about you. And as you get older, you realize no one is even bringing you up in the conversation. So if you like it, do it. Like, subscribe. I'm not going to get into this shit. You guys have a good day. Until next time.